Dear Black women, young ladies, and girls, I'm going to be reading a powerful passage that I wrote. I'll be discussing online dating websites, chat rooms, dating apps, sex trafficking, and more. Listen, it is no secret that Black females go missing every day. And I'm doing my part as a Black woman to help spread awareness that can educate, protect, and help keep us safe. I strongly encourage you to listen to this video all the way through. Do not skip forward because you will be missing out on valuable information. Let's talk about online dating websites. If you're thinking about giving it a try, I want you to be aware and safe. Keep in mind that just because you come across a profile with a handsome picture and a captivating About Me section doesn't make this guy a great catch. You hear all the time how some women lucked up and found their boyfriend or husband, but that's not the case for everyone. Please be mindful that not all men on there are genuine. You have some men that try to scam women. You have some men that are secretly married, claiming that they're single. You have some men that are dating another woman, but they're going through a rough patch and they're just trying to see what's out there. You have some men that are predators. And you also have some men searching for women that they can pimp out. Also, please be mindful that fake profiles are very real. Anybody can sit behind a computer, search the computer, download images, and write a great bio for themselves. Don't be so easily flattered by what you see because it can all be bogus until you speak with them on the phone or meet up with them in person. That's if you feel comfortable enough to meet up. Then you really don't have a full picture of what this person is like. That's why I strongly suggest you not be in a rush. Take your time to feel him out over the phone before you meet him in person. And I'm not just talking about after one or two conversations either. Remember, at the end of the day, he's a stranger. Yes, he may come off as a great guy, but you just never know. Converse with him about various topics to get a good feel for who he is. I encourage you to be an attentive listener too. Now, people will often say things without realizing it. Now, here's a tip: really pay attention to what he likes to talk about and ask yourself, what are you really hearing? Be mindful not to overtalk. Now, what I mean by this is don't be so eager to overshare too soon. Again, you don't know just yet who you're dealing with. Now, not to scare you, but serial killers, rapists, stalkers, and all other sorts of whack jobs are on dating websites too. Don't be afraid to ask questions that are important to you. If they try to avoid your questions, get irritated with your questions, and they're just overall not feeling what you're asking, or if you detect any kind of attitude, please do not ignore the signs. If you're going to meet up in a public place. Do not go to his home, nor should you invite him to your home for the first time meeting up. I do not recommend that. Do not ignore your gut. Allow it to lead, guide, and protect you. Please be mindful of all that I've talked about when it comes to dating apps, too. Now, let's talk briefly about chat rooms. Many people of all ages log into chat rooms for all sorts of reasons: to make new friends, build relationships, to vent, and of course, you guessed it, predators are on here too. So, with that being said, be mindful of what kind of information and how much information you're giving out. People from all over the world create these accounts, so you don't know who you're really chatting with. You may think you're talking to this really awesome guy, but in actuality, nothing that he's portraying online. He's just painting a good picture for you. And please listen to me carefully. If you're a young adult woman reading this, I don't care how cool some of these guys or girls may seem. Keep in mind that you're on the internet and it's filled with people that want nothing more than to manipulate. They come off as nice, fun, outgoing, down to earth, trustworthy, great listeners, and everything else under the sun. But at the end of the day, underneath it all, some people are very deceitful. Don't be manipulated by giving out your address or other personal information, period. I know a lot of young ladies go on here to vent and to get things off their chest, but again, you don't really know who you're venting to. You could be offering up too much information that'll put you in a vulnerable position. If you're chatting with somebody and they're asking you detailed questions about yourself, your family, what school you go to, etc., I need you to stop and think. If they ask you to sneak out and meet them, stop and think. If they ask you to come to their home but don't let anybody else know, stop and think. Being a young adult can be tough, but nothing will be worse than you never saw coming if you're never seen or heard from again. I'm going to repeat that. You think you're sneaking out, you're talking with somebody, and everything seems all well, just for you to never be seen or heard from again. Listen to me. Everybody online is not your friend. Now, let's talk about something that is very important. Let's talk about sex trafficking. Young girls and women all over the world are forced into sex trafficking every day. Please excuse me. And no, I'm not going to edit this video. I'm giving it to you raw. So if I cough, if you hear something in the background, just stick with me. Now let me repeat that. Let's talk about sex trafficking. Young girls and women all over the world are forced into sex trafficking every day. Please don't think it could never happen to you, because it could. That's why I'm writing this passage, to help keep you safe and aware. There's nothing wrong with going out and having a good time. But if you enjoy going to clubs, bars, house parties, hanging out, etc., keep in mind that everybody is not who they may seem to be. Even if your friends introduce you to somebody, don't be so quick to take their word. Get to know the people for yourself. Sex traffickers are everywhere. Now, listen closely, both men and women. They blend in just like everybody else because they are just like everybody else. They are fathers, mothers, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, cousins, students, co workers, friends. I think you get what I mean. They are literally any and everybody. And even people that you hold very high positions, okay? Don't let titles fool you. People in very high places are doing this as well. I know some of you are shocked to hear that women do this too, but they do. I don't want, now, what I really need to drive this home, I don't want you to think that it's just men, because women are, they're up on this too. They're coercing and tricking women and young ladies and girls, okay, to get into this. Now, listen, if you're a runaway, you're at risk. You need to listen to me closely. If you're in a group home or in a foster care system, you're at risk, seriously. If you're a prostitute, you're at risk. If you have like low self-esteem, you're an easy target. They know you want to feel loved and wanted. So they'll start the grooming process to gain your trust and respect, okay? They know that most likely you've already suffered sexual, physical, and or mental abuse. They know that a lot of girls and women have abandonment issues and no real support system. They know all of this. That's why at first they make you feel loved, special, and wanted, but it's all a part of their plan. And please understand this, it doesn't just happen to the kind of girls and women that I've mentioned above. It happens to girls and women that just somehow got caught up and didn't see or pay attention to the signs. It could also happen to any girl or woman who's going about their daily activities. The mall, school, movie theaters, and other popular establishments are easy hunting grounds too. It doesn't matter what kind of family you come from, the type of life you've lived, or the choices you did or didn't make. You can become a victim as well. Sex trafficking doesn't discriminate. Keep your eyes wide open. The internet is flooded with sex traffickers too. It's easy to hide behind a screen and search for their next victims. Again, don't be so easily flattered. Now, listen, that like that you just got on your picture could be from a sex trafficker. That comment that just made you smile from ear to ear could be from a sex trafficker. That beautiful direct message that you just read, that could be from a sex trafficker. That friend request that you just accepted could be from a sex trafficker. That person you barely know you just invited to a party could be a sex trafficker. That event that you're so excited to attend could be connected to a sex trafficker. That person that you just followed on all your social media accounts could be a sex trafficker. The possibility, the possibilities are endless. Be mindful of men who seem too good to be true. Be mindful of girls or women that try to lure you into doing things that just don't seem right. Be careful when you're out and about having a good time. Never drink something that you didn't see being made or didn't open up your own self. Be mindful of males and females that promise you a better life by going out with them. In this day and time, it pays to be mindful of every damn thing. And I do mean everything. Listen, sex trafficking is evil. No one should have to endure this kind of wickedness. I'm about to get graphic for a moment, but I need you to get it. I want you to understand the horrible things that people go through, and there's nothing that they can do about it once they're taken. Note, don't forget that sex trafficking is a horrible thing that happens to boys and men as well. However, for the sake of the consistency of this passage, I'll be focusing on girls and women. Girls and women are being beaten, drugged, and tortured if they don't comply or if they don't meet their so called quota. Their bodies are no longer their own. They're made to do any and everything with their bodies, all for their sex traffickers' love, for money and power. There is plenty of money to be made, and by any means necessary, those girls' and women's bodies will be used and abused over and over and over and over and over and over again. Their vaginas, anus, and mouth are abused daily for other people's pleasure. Could you imagine this being your truth? Lured or taken away just to be abused daily. Your every move is controlled. Imagine the cries and screams of other girls and women. Imagine listening to other girls and women being tortured. Imagine your body feeling exhausted and tired, but you're forced to still, be, you're literally forced to still perform. Imagine being on your period and still being forced to do the unthinkable. Imagine your body being tattooed with a name, slogan, saying, or design to show that you're somebody's quote unquote property. That's a way of them showing their ownership of you. You're branded like slaves. What do you think they'll do to your body should you overdose, die of natural causes, or they decided to kill you? They'd get rid of your body just like your trash. Sex trafficking is real, and girls and women get lured, taken, or caught up all over the world. Please do your best to keep yourself safe. If you're someone with young daughters, nieces, cousins, etc., please talk to them about this too. It's imperative to educate them. Sex trafficking is a very lucrative business, so you will always have predators on the lookout for fresh girls and women. With that being said, pay attention. If something doesn't feel right, believe what you're feeling. Be protected of yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Look after yourself, educate yourself, be vigilant for yourself. For the females listening to this that may be battling with low self-esteem, abuse issues, the feeling of emptiness and yearning for love and attention, don't fall victim to these predators. You've been warned. No, they don't really love you. No, they don't really care for you. No, they're not going to take care of you and give you a better life with all the glitz and glam that they've promised you. No, they're not going to give you the world. No, they're not going to help you get on your feet or get you an amazing job. The only traveling you're going to be doing is to go places where they can make money off of you. That's right. Selling your body and doing whatever else they demand you to do. They will make all kinds of promises to get you to go off with them. Don't do it. It's a trap. I'm going to bring this video to an end by saying, encourage yourself, believe in yourself, and love yourself. Never doubt who you are. No matter how hopeless you may be feeling, you matter. I encourage you to reach out for help instead of going off with pimps and sex traffickers. There's nothing good in this for you. Please believe that you count. Search the internet for legitimate help for people in your circumstances. Search for shelters, programs, and organizations in your area. Speak up and let someone that just let someone know what's going on and that you need help because there is help. Don't be afraid to utilize it. You don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed. Just get the help that you need. There are people who genuinely care for you, and their passion is to help you. Living a street life does not have to be your reality. I encourage you to fight for you. My name is Stephanie Lahart, empowering Black women and Black girls all over the world. Be safe.